When you think of someone that would attend speech therapy, what do you think of? Maybe a child who cannot say the R sound or cannot make the sh sound. Or maybe you think of someone who sometimes stutters while speaking or maybe cannot get through a word at all. Roughly 3 million Americans have a stutter. However, there is not necessarily a cure, and most therapy strategies are about being able to mentally cope and accept one's speech. In this digital story, I want to take the time to tell other people's stories with their stutter, found on the International Stuttering Awareness Day's website. International Stuttering Awareness Day takes place on October 22nd every year, and in 2023, the theme for the online conference was One Size Does Not Fit All. This conference gives people the opportunity to share their stories and hear from other people who stutter, as well as allows anyone to learn about stuttering and have any questions answered that they might have. The website now has changed to accommodate this upcoming 2024's conference, but I want to share a couple of inspiring stories I heard from 2023. My Evolution of Living and Coping with Stuttering, Preferences That Have Changed Over Time, by Charlie Hughes. Charlie Hughes is a speech-language pathologist and a professor at Eastern Kentucky University. He shares his story with his stutter, quoting, "For me, this is my personal story of evolving, changing, returning, and changing again as it relates to living and coping with my stuttering." When Charlie first started attending speech therapy, he recalls learning about a method called Easy Relaxed Approach Smooth Movements, or ERASM, which worked well for him at the time. This type of method helps someone slow their speech and ease into words they want to say, with the goal being to stutter as little as possible or not at all. As he moved into his young adult life, he met more people who stuttered and chose to identify as a person who stutters, making him more comfortable with his speech. Charlie points out that as a speech-language pathologist, it is important to know your client's goals for their speech and what their personal preferences are, and you should always allow someone to feel comfortable in their speech the way that they personally want it. 3 Things I Learned Along the Way by Larry Stein. Larry Stein stuttered for 50 years, and at the age of 55, he embarked on a 2-year journey to improve his speech. He says he could not properly say his own name until he was 57 years old. He starts his story by highlighting the theme of the conference and says that a person who stutters has many choices of how to live their life, and each way is okay. Each person is different in their goals, and one size truly does not fit all. Larry shares the 3 things that he has learned on his journey of acceptance, starting with number 1, which is to not let stuttering hold you back. According to Larry, he compromised many things in his career and life to avoid stuttering, and he regrets not just letting himself be who he was. In his second point, he says, "There may not be a solution, but there will always be a way forward." There is no cure, no shortcuts, no magic wand to fix a stutter, but there are tools to improve your speech and help you become more comfortable with it. And Larry says that with practice and determination, you can find the path to happiness. Larry ends his inspiring story with his third point: you may not think you're ready to improve your speech, but start now anyway, because in the process, you will change and you will grow. Whether you are someone with disfluent speech, an aspiring SLP, or just someone who is interested in learning about others, it is highly important to understand what it means to be a person who stutters, so we can all be better educators and listeners. For more information, visit www.isad.live to learn more about stuttering, and stay tuned for this year's conference in October.